Hey ladies, happy Monday. I hope you are off to a great start with your week. I wanted to hop on really quickly and share 7 time-saving hacks with you. A lot of you have shared, sorry, my screen is going crazy right now. A lot of you have shared a struggle that you have with time management and being productive. So I wanted to share these tips with you. Last week I shared 5 time-saving productivity and time management tips. And today I wanted to share just some totally random things that I do in my life that helps me with my time management and my productivity. They are, like I said, totally random, but they are things that I implement in my life to make sure that I am more productive and that I'm saving time. And I am going to go through these within the next 10 minutes because I actually have a live interview today with my personal business coach, Jasmine Nemec, and so I have to do these kind of quickly and run through them. But if you're catching the replay, thanks for watching. If you have questions, whether you're watching the replay or if you're live, just drop them below and I'll be sure to answer them. Okay, so for those of you that don't know me really quickly, let me introduce myself. I am Allie Christian and I am the founder of this group, the Proverbs 31 Entrepreneurs, and I love helping women build successful businesses with Jesus at the center. That is my mission. That is one of my callings in life. So if you need help developing a business, keeping Jesus at the center, keeping your priorities in order, I would love to chat with you, love to help you do that. Okay, so my first tip for you is to focus on the task at hand. Focus on what you're doing. And I know this sounds really simple, but I have found that the more busy that I am, the more things that I have to do, the more I find myself all over the place. Like, I eat lunch and then I put my dishes in the sink and I'm like, oh, there are dishes in the sink. Okay, I should start doing them. And then I see, oh, I didn't take out dinner. So I take out something, take out our frozen meat, and then I find a recipe. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I have that ingredient that I need. So I'm going to start making a grocery list. So I start making a grocery list. Meanwhile, this isn't even what I'm supposed to be doing. And also, I have not even gotten the dishes done. I've not planned dinner well. I've not done any of these things well because I'm just jumping to the next thing. And I'm just distracted and not doing my things well. So make sure that you focus on the task at hand and make sure that you just simply focus on what you're doing. Hey, Amanda. Okay, number 2. Don't overdo it with the tasks that you have at hand so what I mean by this is don't get so invested in doing one thing and doing it for an entire day or doing it for hours at a time because you may end up actually wasting time. Let me give you an example. It's kind of a quirky example, but hopefully you can relate to something in your life. So something that I did last week, I was looking for a vacuum on our local Facebook garage sale groups, and I spent about 45 minutes going through and just looking at all the different vacuums and seeing if they were available. And I would comment and say, hey, is this still available? Instead of looking at maybe 2 or 3 and seeing if they were available, and then just chatting with that person who was selling the vacuum. I went through and I wasted so much time commenting and looking at all these different vacuums. So sometimes the task at hand, you need to just focus on doing it for a short period of time, which I'm going to touch on. You want to focus on doing it in a short amount of time and not overdoing it because you may actually end up wasting time. This goes for organizing. So if you are about to, you want to clean out your house, fall is here, you want to organize, you may overdo it and you may experience fatigue and then you're not even doing it well. So you're wasting time. So don't overdo it with the task that you have. Number 3 is to always multitask. Now, this being said, I do not say this to give you anxiety or feel like, oh my goodness, I always need 2 things going on at once. It can be very simple what you are multitasking with. So for me, 5 times a day for half an hour, I have to nurse my daughter. And instead of just sitting there, I could be praying. So a lot of times I'll read my Bible and I'll pray. So that's multitasking. That's not me going a million miles a minute. That's me simply multitasking. So you could pray and do the dishes, or you could cook and listen to praise music. Always be multitasking, especially if you want to be more productive. So, and Also, it doesn't have to be something super spiritual, but if you're in the car, you could catch up on my live videos. You could listen to a training, whatever it is. Make sure that you're multitasking. That being said, do not go 100 miles a minute. So this is tip number 4. Stop going 100 miles a minute, because just like tip number 1, focus on the task that you're doing. You will not do things well if you're going 100 miles a minute. So slow down, use that schedule that you created. Hopefully you have a schedule, and just simply focus on the task at hand and do not go 100 miles a minute. You will be much more productive when you slow down and focus on the task at hand. Multitask while you're doing that, okay? All of these things run together. Which brings me to tip number 5. Don't put 100 things on your to-do list. It will actually discourage you. So if you wake up and you see 100 things or more on your to-do list, you're going to feel like, oh my goodness, I am super overwhelmed and I just woke up. I am not going to be able to get these things done today. I'm going to start going 100 miles a minute. I am not going to focus on the task at hand. I'm going to dabble in all of these different tasks that I have to do, and you're not going to do them well. And you may not even do them at all. You may instead have the reverse response and you might become lazy. So do not put 100 things on your to-do list. Instead, what I encourage you to do is live via your schedule. So don't live per a list, live through your schedule. And within your schedule, you can make a list. So from 2:30 to 4 o'clock, it is my housework time. I don't list everything that I'm going to do in my schedule, but I know that that's scheduled. And then I will make a list that's attached to that. So I will write everything that I need to do as far as housework for that time. Okay. And then also, have a must-do list. If you are experiencing a day where there is so much to do, or you are just totally overwhelmed, just stop. Don't go 100 miles a minute. Don't try and dabble in all of these different things, but instead just live off of your must-do list. Okay, so there are things that you must get done. Get those things done. And then the rest you can do maybe the next day or the next week or even the next month, or maybe you can even outsource them. All right, number 6, front load your week. This is a little tip that I love doing. I put almost everything on my list for Monday, to do on Monday. And it's so helpful because on Mondays, I feel so much more productive. I have so much more energy. I'm so much more motivated. After the weekend, my type A personality is ready to get back into the grind and start working towards my business goals, start cleaning up our house again. It feels like a mess on Monday morning. And looking back, when it's Friday, when I look back on my Monday, I am so thankful that I've gotten so much done on Monday and Tuesday in the front part of my week, because on Friday I am not motivated. I am not up for doing everything that I did on Monday. On Friday, I am so thankful that I got so much done. I actually think to myself, there is no way I would do what I did on Monday today. I'm just not motivated, and it's the end of the week and I'm just starting to wind down, and that's what our bodies naturally do. That's how God made us. So make sure that you front load your week, do more at the beginning of the week, and allow yourself to relax and wind down and maybe even take Friday off. All right, tip number 7. If you're procrastinating about doing something, set a timer and do it for small increments of time. Okay, so do, whether it's organizing, whether it's a project that you're working on, whatever it is, whatever you're avoiding, set a timer, do it for 10, 20, 25 minutes, and then stop. And then pick it up the next day. So if there's something that's overwhelming you, whether it's a project, whatever it is, I want you to do it in small increments, because small wins will allow you to be more productive than trying to do it all at once and getting fatigued. Okay, getting fatigued will make you actually waste time, because you will be spending your time doing something that you're not doing well because you're tired or you're frustrated or you're discouraged, and that's not when we work best. So set a timer, have small wins, do this big project or whatever it is that's overwhelming you, do it in small increments and obey that timer. Okay. All right, for those of you that are struggling with time management and productivity, this month in the Proverbs 31 Mastermind, we are focusing on time management and productivity. You're going to get a workbook, you're going to get one-on-one coaching with me, you're going to get a mastermind group with the ladies that are in there to be a soundboard, to share ideas, to ask all of your questions, whatever you need. We're going to tackle time management and productivity. Registration is only open for this week. For the mastermind, it is always open the very first week of each month, and so you have until Friday to register. It's a super low price, ladies. It's a steal for one-on-one coaching. You will not find one-on-one coaching for this price anywhere. So if you are struggling with time management, this is your calling to get in that group, registered by Friday. If you have questions, let me know, send me a message, comment below, and I will chat with you soon.